Talita, sit. Sit. Mooi. Nope. She doesn't want the treat. Can you lay? Hello. Okay, so this is Talita. She's a very naughty husky. And we've seen her in a lot of videos, and Joseph and I, mostly me because Joseph doesn't like the camera, have mentioned her having seizures. Sometimes you've seen Joseph give her medicine, and I just thought I wanted to do a sit-down video talking about her history and giving you more information about her. Huskies do have a gene or a genetic predisposition, I don't know what the terminology is for it, about that they can have seizures. We don't know what causes them. She's got idiopathic seizures, but we'll get into that a little bit later. My dad's girlfriend works at a vet. By the way, if you can hear the horrible weed eater outside, I'm very sorry. Anyway, so my dad's girlfriend, she is a receptionist or like a vet assistant at the vet offices, and they have a client who has 3 huskies. I think it's 3, or is it 6? I can't remember. Anyways, they've got a lot of huskies, and all of them have seizures. So we don't know what's causing it. I have my book here, and I spoke and I sat with Joseph and his mom, getting all the information, because Joseph and I have only been dating for for about a year and a little bit over. We've been dating since February of last year, right? Feels like much longer, but anyways. So I haven't been around when they got Talita. Talita will be 4 in November. 4 in December, sorry. So I've got some information that I will be telling you about her history, some pictures. I've got some cute pictures, and she's lying down pretty nicely so that I can just prop them on top of her head when I'm editing. So let's start. Talita was born in December 16th of 2016. And they got her when she was 8 weeks old, which was, they got her 9th of February 2017. So yeah. Hey, nice. I'm just feeding her some pellets, which is her normal dog food. I don't want to be giving her treats because she's a bit of a fat husky. So yeah, it's one of their family friends flew down with her and brought her to Port Elizabeth. And at the time they had Yesiah, which he is a chow chow, and you've also seen Yesiah in quite a few videos. And I'm just checking my papers here. Yesiah was about 6 years old at the time, and Yesiah's not the world's friendliest doggy towards other humans and other dogs. So they actually booked a room or a flatlet at Willows, and they stayed there for I don't know how long, because I didn't check. A week, 2 weeks, 2 months, oh, a weekend. Okay, so Joseph's behind the camera whispering to me. They stayed there for a weekend with her. yeah, then she was much of an irritant toward Yesiah from a very long time. Here are some photos as well. This is the sliding door. Was that when they first met? Okay, so this is pictures of when they first met through something. Like Yesiah and Talita just wanted to play, but Yesiah wasn't impressed. And then this is also a photo of when Yesiah actually accepted her, and she's still irritating him and stealing all the bed. Yeah, so Yesiah didn't want to accept her at all. Like, they even got a dog behaviorist or a dog whisperer to come in, and they had no idea what to do. She was also completely stumped, and she said that Yesiah will never accept her. Okay, so then in June of 2016, Talita is about 6 months old, I think. She went on heat for the first time, and that is when Yesiah realized she's a girl, and then he started to slowly accept her. So then let's take my notes. So it was September of 2017 when Talita had her first seizure. This is a photo of where she was lying when she had her first seizure. Joseph told me it was in a different house. I've never seen that house myself. This wasn't the night she had the seizure, or the day. This is just the spot she was lying in when she had her seizure. And they rushed her to the vet nearby, and they gave her the normal medicine like Valium at around 8 o'clock. This is when she had her seizure. She's about 9 months old. And then the next morning, she had another one at about 6 o'clock. And now, Joseph doesn't really remember how many more she had after that. But then she had 3 more clusters of seizures within a space of a month. So another month later she had more, another month later she had more, and another month she had more. And then, so after her 4th seizure, I can never say that word properly, Joseph and his mom Irma decided that they're very unhappy with the current vet. And then they started looking for a new one, and Irma's sister recommended 9th Avenue Vet, which is where we are still today, with Talita as well as Yesiah, and they are very happy there. And 9th Avenue Vet is amazing. The doctors there are amazing, and they just treat Talita with so much love and support, and they're always there to help her when needed. So she had a seizure again April of 2018, and they took her to 9th Avenue. The one doctor there, he immediately took her through. They didn't have to wait in the waiting room, and he put her on a drip, did a full examination from head to toe, and also he requested her history from the previous vet where they were unhappy with, where Joseph and his mom were not happy with that vet. The doctor then also recommended a specialist. The specialist is in Newton Park, right? The specialist is in Newton Park, and the specialist did a full examination from head to toe, testing her reflexes as well as doing blood tests. And all her reflexes and her blood tests came back negative. They had no idea what was causing these seizures, and this is when she was then diagnosed by the specialist with idiopathic seizures. She now goes to the specialist every 6 months for a checkup, because the medication that the specialist has put her on can damage her liver, so they have to keep an eye on her liver and make sure her liver is doing fine. So the medicine she is on is lethal. I will put the names of the medicine that I'm mentioning up next to me with a little bit of a definition and some of the information. So she is on 3 medications. She is on lethal, potassium bromide, as well as Pixion. And she gets these spread out throughout the day because she cannot have all 3 at the same time. Now, the time schedule that she is on is something that Joseph has planned. No, the vet or the specialist didn't come up with this time. It was Joseph's plan. It's his idea. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m., she gets lethal. And then at 8 o'clock, she gets Pexion. And then at 8:45, she gets potassium. And then that's her morning pills. Then in the evening from 6 p.m., she has lethal. And then at 8 p.m. she has potassium. So that's all the medicine she gets. Oh, Pexion, sorry. I'm just reading my notes and I see the P and I just said potassium. So these are all the medicines that she gets within a day. And it's a lot of medicines. The medicine makes her very hungry, which is why she's a bit of a chunky puppy. But we have put her, she is on diet food. And also, I don't know if you've ever seen her walking, but her back legs are very floppy. And she's not always stable and sturdy on them. Okay, so let's see. Oh yes, the doctor, the vet, and the specialist recommended spaying her because they thought that might have something to do with her seizures. So Talita was spayed in June of 2018 and she was about 18 months old. Medicines and her seizures are kind of basically under control, I would say. She has seizures about once a month, and when she does seizure, she has what the doctors call clusters, which means she seizures a lot. So I am filming this today, the 11th of June. I think it's the 11th. Yes, it's the 11th of June, and about 2 weeks ago, right, she had an episode of seizures where she had at least a minimum of 5 seizures within 48 hours. So she does have them quite often, and that's the dangerous part about her idiopathic seizures, is because she has more than one. If she had one seizure once a month, it would be okay, but because she's having more than that, that's the dangerous part, the fact that she's having multiple seizures after each other. Okay, so now I'm going to run through what happens now if she has a seizure like 2 weeks ago. So whenever she has a seizure now, while she is seizing, like while she's having a seizure, she needs to get a Valium injection in her bum. It works best while she's seizing. If the seizure has stopped, it's normally you can't give her the Valium. Sometimes we do, but it's recommended that this Valium is given to her while she's having a seizure. And then she starts on another medicine called Keppra. She gets 1.5 pills of Keppra every 8 hours for the next 4 to 5 days. The Keppra also makes her very floppy, and her legs become even worse, and she becomes very grumpy on the Keppra. So, if she seizures more just once, she stays at home. And we monitor her, and she stays in the house. We try to keep the house as cold as possible. We close all the doors and the curtains to keep it dark and cold. We put on all the fans and the air conditioner, so to keep her as cold as possible. Sometimes after she's had a seizure, she's awake, like she doesn't want to settle down. And then I sometimes get a towel and I wet the towel with wet water and I wring it out, and then it's heavy. So I put the towel over her so it calms her down and it brings her down so she does lie down. And then she's also cold. And we've also got ice packs in the fridge, in the freezer, and we also take that out and either put it under her neck or we put it on her neck on top of the towel where the towel is on her. I don't know, so a lot of people who have anxiety or stress, they have a lead blanket and that calms them down. So that's what I started doing with the wet blanket, because the wet blanket is heavy. So I thought that would help her and I make it cold, and it seems to be doing the trick nowadays. We've done it for the past couple of seizures and it helps her. and it also helps her keep cold. And I keep checking her nose. Like if we take the towel off her, her nose warms up very quickly, so then I've got to put the towel back on her. So she's not allowed to play. She has to be staying cold. We have to keep her as calm as possible, like no excitement, because if she gets excited and then settles, that's when the seizure comes. So she stays as calm as possible. She's not allowed to play, which she gets very upset because she wants to play, but we have to like take all the toys away and hide them so that she can't play with them. And then we monitor her. We keep the back door closed. She loves to be outside, but she can't be because then she runs around or she lies down and then she has a seizure and we don't know about it. So the back door is kept closed and we take her outside for bath and breaks, and we stay there with her to make sure she doesn't start running around. And if she starts running around, she goes straight back inside. Now that is if she's just had one seizure and it stops. But now if she has more than that, then we have to take her to the vet. So every time she does have a seizure, we phone the vet and we let them know. So normally by her third or fourth seizure, we take her into the vet and they monitor her and they check her. Sometimes they keep her overnight. Sometimes if her seizures are bad enough that they're really not stopping, the doctor will then put her under anesthetic to try and like reset her brain or her body to try and get that to stop. Is she okay? And then if they have to put her under anesthetic, then she does stay at the vet for either a day or two. The last period, now this last 2 weeks ago, she stayed for a night and a day and a half. And then like before that, like 6 months ago in around January, when they had to put her under anesthetic, she actually stayed 2 days at the doctor. So it just depends on how the doctor is monitoring her. So that is just information about Talita, and I'll show you some more photos and videos, and I'm sure I would have edited and put it in somewhere. She's very fascinated with my book at the moment. And now I want to do some fun little games with her, so I don't know if she's going to cooperate with me. There are some things that we can do for like, they call it like a doggy IQ test, where you do tricks with her and stuff for like problem solving and retaining memory and stuff like that. So we're going to try and see if she will cooperate or not. I'm not sure if we're going to do it in the kitchen or in the lounge, but we'll figure it out in a second. Quickly, I'm going to be doing 3 tricks with her. First, we're going to put a blanket over her head and see if she can get the blanket off her head and how quickly. And then I got to put a treat under the blanket and she's got to try find it or get the treat out from the blanket. I don't know how we're going to do that one, but we'll figure it out. And then the other one is you put a treat under one of 3 cups and she's got to remember where the treat was. So also you're going to see mostly my feet, but we're focusing on the dog right now. Sit. Sit. Mooi. Sit. Sit up. Kom hier zo. She got it off, but now you didn't see. Kom hier zo. Oh. Okay, she's pretty good at that. I mean, it's not very heavy, and I'm not putting it on her properly. She ducks away from it and it just misses her head. Kyk hierso. Cookie, sit. Wag. Jy moet wag. Hierso Cookie. Kyk Cookie. Waar is die Cookie? Hierso. Oh nee, kom jy hierso. Ryk hierso. Kyk hierso. She figured out where it is. Oh, she got it! Yay! Easy Cookie. What is it? I've made it a little bit more difficult for her now because I haven't lifted up the blanket very much, but she knows it's there. Cleo! Waar's die Cookie? Ek weet. Waar? Daar. Waar's die Cookie? Hierso. Hierso. Daar. She's got the idea, but... Sit. Wag. Cookie. Wag. Here's a cookie. I'm putting it under this one. Waar's die Cookie? Ry kom. Waar's die Cookie? Nee. Nee. Daar. Sien hom? Waar's die Cookie? Daar. Hierso? Stamp op oor. Waar's die Cookie? She's moving the cookie with a cup. Okay, kom. Sit. Sit. Say dankie. Subscribe and like. Talita, say bye. Bye.